Instead of doing the countdown today, I just showed up 5 minutes late. But actually, I will torture you again with the countdown. Hey, everybody on YouTube. Epstein's client list. That's it. Well, that's what everybody wants to see. That's what everybody wants to see right now. I'm seeing calls for it on the internet. People saying, "Well, we heard about these people and these people. We've got some secrets, but what about the Epstein client list?" That's what people want to know. So I'll tell you a few names, but I don't know every single one of them. I don't know if anybody does, but I know that there's at least one person claiming to have the list who's threatening to publish it. So I'll tell you to watch that account just in case it's real. That's Ryan Dawson, who is search banned on Twitter. And I don't know about Twitter, people are saying their engagement's down. People are saying right-wing accounts have engagement down. People are saying their feeds aren't good. People like to complain. Have you noticed that? We like to complain too. We like to complain about you while you're not around. But while we do the show, we say, "Oh, we appreciate you. We appreciate you coming here." So yeah, I'll give you a few names off the list, but really it's more wishful thinking, the title. And the thumbnail was also created with the help of AI. I asked AI to give me a picture of a secret list, a secret client list. And that's what I used in the thumbnail. I also had AI write a script for me today. It's pretty powerful. You guys I can see where it'll be useful. All right, I'm going to give you guys news. Let's see. What are the news stories? Stuff about the I have a follow-up from a story I did yesterday. Oh, breaking news from Project Veritas. So I'll play some of that video. And I know I can play as much as I want of the video without getting any kind of copyright issues. So there's a story about critical race theory being taught secretly in schools. We already know about it. So then people say it's a limited hangout. Welcome to this limited hangout where I tell you just a little bit of the truth so that you don't ask questions about the rest of it, which we keep secret just for our students at buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil who get the whole truth. We're just going to share little nuggets to make you think. Now that's the definition of a limited hangout. But people are accused. People say everything is. So welcome to this edition. Limited hangout with Lift the Veil. Okay, cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is, joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman, and I bring you the news, the real news. Yes, without an animal spirit anymore. I should probably get... Animals are good for engagement. Animals are good. Animals on camera for engagement. I'll teach you guys that. So yeah, I was actually watching the latest thing about Andrew Tate. Did you guys see it? The Vice thing? I mean, Vice is biased, right? Vice is biased, and they are maybe controlled by, don't know, they might have some connection to the deep state. But they did a biography on Andrew Tate. You know that thing that I proposed to my audience as a joke, but just to educate people on what a multi-level marketing scheme is? He actually ran one. He actually did exactly what I proposed. So you, friends, you could profit off the Lift the Veil show in that multi-level marketing scheme. But that's actually what he did. He paid people, people promoted his content and they got paid for it. Pretty weird. Pretty weird being a social influencer. So yeah, but then the other thing he made the guy do in his academy, he made the guy do a kickboxing fight. So I was thinking about it. I was talking about it before the show, about what would be more scary to people, whether it be would it be a cage match with a professional fighter or going on stage and doing stand-up comedy? Which would you be more frightened of doing? I would think that would be a tough question. So in my academy, I wouldn't force people to participate in violence, but it's interesting. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'll show you guys this latest clip from Project Veritas. Oh, from the Epstein client list, Dershowitz is on there. Prince Andrew, you guys know about. Bill Clinton. But then what about the clients? What about the clients that were getting the services for free because of blackmail? And then Lex Wexner. I mean, there are people out there who obviously participated, and they are going about their everyday lives, including Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz just walks around like he wasn't one of Epstein's, like, Johns. He just walks around like everything is totally normal, and he's just a constitutional scholar who says the government has the right to hold you down and inject you, too. That Alan Dershowitz was definitely on the list. And there were some other people. We'll see if the list comes out. Ryan Dawson on Twitter says he's going to publish the list in like 26 days, he says. So we'll see. We'll see. I actually reached out to him to ask him about it because I can tell that people want to know. Then we can cancel. That's what we want to do, right? Is cancel everybody on the list so they can't participate in regular society anymore. And then we'll have our vengeance upon them. Right? Let me show you this thing about critical race theory. This just broke. Breaking news happening now. Revealed that critical race theory is being taught in schools secretly, from what I can tell. I've seen only a little bit of the video, but I'm going to show it to you now. See if I have my audio right. All right, let me know. Tell me immediately if there are any audio issues. I think I have it routed correctly. But here's a breaking news story from Project Veritas, who's doing a Twitter Spaces about this right now. It's somebody boasting about teaching critical race theory and hiding it.
If you don't say the word critical race theory, you can technically teach it.
And it's amazing how you've gotten schools to purchase a curriculum.
And they don't even know what's going on. I was a good salesman, but I'm also an evil salesman. Like, so bad.
So the public schools have the state funding, right?
They do.
So the state is basically paying for your curriculum without knowing what's in it. Does your curriculum have critical race theory in it?
Yep.
And the government doesn't know.
And they have no clue. And I'm like, this is good.
In order to make sure it's under the radar, how do you?
This is DEI work.
Schools in Georgia have your curriculum.
Two districts, actually. So Cook County and then Cobb County.
Wait, your curriculum that is in the schools here in Georgia? Just kindergarten?
It's one of his just kindergarten, yeah. But
That's so cool. So your CRT stuff is
kindergarten. It's so good. It's like he's such an idiot. Like his wife does a lot of stuff in education here. He was a former teacher.
What do you think she would do if she found out there's CRT?
Oh, I would get nailed for sure.
What about those parents who might push back after doing it?
Who cares? I'm not part of the system. I can't lose I'm not gonna lose my job over it. Worst that's gonna happen is y'all gonna be upset. And I shared some knowledge. That's the worst that's gonna happen.
This is how we use
It's cool.
With my experience with Project Veritas videos, they give you all of the stuff you need to see up front. So I think we got the gist of the video there. So you heard it. They are secretly teaching CRT in schools, which is just teaching people that they're victims of white oppression. And that's what people really think. It is sad. People say they're victims of white oppression and that these are all bad white systems and that like I'm benefiting from the system that likes white people. Like if like the people would have a conspiracy theory probably and say that the algorithm promotes white people more. Like we have a built-in advantage when it comes to pretty much everything, hiring and then like there are white people that are taking care of us and making sure that we do well. That's the theory. So yeah, and anyway, I guess that's what they're teaching in schools. Critical race theory, systemic oppression, victims, and what do they call the abusers? Victims and then white people. And you're kind of one or the other, and you're on one side or the other side. That's what they're teaching. So anyway, good job, Project Veritas. They got the clip actually going into the schools. So no surprise though. They started teaching it in pretty much all of every kind of class. Okay, check this out. I'll play another video. Davos is going on right now, the World Economic Forum. There's a report that people are reporting on Twitter that George Soros, Klaus Schwab, both pulled out. That was reported yesterday. Then people were reporting on Twitter today that Bill Gates pulled out of the World Economic Forum. So I don't even know if it's true. Don't even know how to fact check what people are saying. People are saying on Twitter that that's true, but I can't confirm or deny whether it is or not. It could be though that people don't want to be associated with World Economic Forum anymore because they don't want to be associated with conspiracy theories. And there might not be a conspiracy behind it. It might be, the conspiracy might be all the conspiracy theorists that will make videos about you if you go to Davos and then you say something crazy, like John Kerry kind of said something weird today. So I have John Kerry being weird. They do have a complex, these people. They do think they're better. The elite, it is appropriate to have conspiracy theories about the elite because I've known like elite people and they do actually think they are better. So they do think the thing about the elite is once people get successful, they start to believe their own baloney. They believe their own story. They believe their own hype. So they believe that they got to where they got, however that was, through merit, because they are superior, they are better, and that feeling they get from this, and this happens to regular people who maybe didn't feel that way before they were successful and got a lot of money. But after they're successful and have a lot of money, a lot of people are susceptible to the human thing of thinking, my ass doesn't stink, because nobody tells me my ass stinks. People say my ass smells great. That's what they start to. That's true. People do start to say that. People say, "Oh, sir, your turds are beautiful." And then you start to think, "Oh, my turds are beautiful. People love them. Everything I do is wonderful." So people start to think that way. So the elite really do think like that. Some of them, for real. Like, I'm not making it up. But it makes sense, right? That they would feel that way, because nobody tells them anything. People want to suck up to them. When you have the money, people are nice to you. A lot of people. However, people will hate you too, for no reason. People will hate you, make up stories about you. You can become the butt of conspiracy theories like Bill Gates and George Soros. That is what happens. Or Elon Musk. People have conspiracy theories about him too, because he has a lot of money and he's very influential. So anyway, here's John Kerry talking about like how great he is, how important it is for the elite to get together. They think they're better, and they think that they have the right. Like, it's almost like the kings. Kings used to rule by divine right, basically, right? They were chosen by God. So that's why the people listened to him, is because they believed that you were divinely chosen, the king. And it was kind of important, right? To keep people in line. So these people, like John Kerry, he kind of thinks he's been divinely chosen. Really, he describes it as an extraterrestrial experience. I'll blow it up, play it for you. But I know these people. They are smart. They might be smarter than you. But the thing is they know it. And they don't care about manipulating you, because they don't think you're as valuable. They wouldn't manipulate. They wouldn't try to manipulate the other elite people, because the elite people know what's going on. They learn it on their ski trips and stuff, at their Swiss chalets.
And when you stop and think about it, it's pretty extraordinary that we, select group of human beings, because of whatever touched us at some point in our lives, are able to sit in a room and come together and actually talk about saving the planet. I mean, it's so almost extraterrestrial to think about, quote, saving the planet. And if you said that to most people, they think you're just a crazy tree-hugging lefty liberal, do-gooder or whatever, and there's no relationship. But really, that's where we are. And when you stop and think about it, it's pretty extraordinary.
Extraterrestrial, that they've been chosen to try to save the planet. Like the planet needs saving. But that's what they told us. They say the planet needs saving. The planet is very resilient. Once we're gone, the planet will be fine. Just check out Chernobyl. Check it out. I mean, everything was supposed to die. Everything's supposed to be dead still for tens of thousands of years. But everything came back. How do you explain that? Actually, I am a proponent for nuclear power on this channel. So I do want to report on some nuclear power news. Boris Johnson is talking about ramping up nuclear power in the UK. Power is important. Energy is important. Energy is important for driving human civilization. And ways we can conserve energy are important and often overlooked. They say to solve global warming that we have to do drastic things, like stop flying, for example. They say we have to stop going on trips. We have to stop traveling, stay at home all the time, work from home pretty much. They say we're going to have to make serious changes. We're going to have to eat the bugs. or eat Z bugs, as Klaus Schwab says. They say that's what we're going to have to do to change the future, to reduce our carbon output. But is that really true? Do we really have to make changes that are going to change our lifestyle? Or are things going to work themselves out? Like, could it be, I don't know, could it be that things will work themselves out through technological progress? For example, what did we use electricity for originally? I think light bulbs, pretty much. Wasn't that what was so important about electricity, was bringing light, right? But recently we reduced the amount of power needed to run lights substantially. And who's to say that we don't reduce the power that's required for other things in the future? And then who's to say that we don't adopt nuclear power, which would give us virtually unlimited energy with, a pretty good safety profile compared to all the other ways we can make energy. Nuclear disasters really haven't been that bad. So here's Boris Johnson calling for nuclear power. Let me see. Let me play this clip. I have to play this because I am a big proponent of it. As far as like, okay, cool. It's even cool if we want to stop burning stuff. If we want all electric cars, then we need power, because right now, all the gas is creating a lot of power to drive cars. But if we're not going to have gas cars anymore, then we're going to have to create that power some other way. And windmills aren't that great of an answer. Solar panels can only do so much. They take up a lot of space. Nuclear power can be very small. Airplanes could fly on nuclear power. We already have ships that are powered by nuclear power. It's possible. Anyway, let me play this clip. I haven't even listened to it yet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does my right honourable friend agree that in addition to the excellent solution proposed by my honourable friend for Darlington, now is the time for the government to exploit this country's technological lead and build a fleet of small modular nuclear reactors as part of our British nuclear programme, Mr. Speaker? And while I'm at it, is it not time the Labour Party apologised for 13 years of boneheaded hostility to any new nuclear power in this country?
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think it's fitting if I start with the apology, because I saw that I inadvertently airbrushed him out of a picture on Twitter last week. I think my team, Mr. Speaker, were confused. I simply told the team he needs hairbrushing, not airbrushing. No one did more to progress space than the right honourable gentleman as Prime Minister. And although that space launch wasn't successful last week, it is, I know, the start of a very important new sector for this country.
I don't know why. Oh, he's going to make a point about he's going on. So like, why don't we make jokes in our houses of Congress? Why don't they make jokes like that? He made a joke about his hair being messed up. Nobody does that. That'd be fun. That'd be more fun. I don't know. There is something about Parliament that is more fun. All the I don't even know what they're saying. Like, it does seem cool. And they have that person that can talk to him kind of in saucy ways sometimes. The director or president or whatever it is. The guy that sits up on the stand.
And on this point about small modular reactors, he's absolutely right. We will be announcing the creation of Great British Nuclear very shortly. And small modular reactors, Rolls-Royce and the others, play an amazingly important part in this nuclear mix, which will get us back up to 25% of our power from nuclear.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Man, that would be fantastic. Some things the UK is doing right. Like the UK, they're more into their turfs over there, but like a lot of people in the UK. Although, who was it? Scotland that did the self-ID gender stuff? But they're woke. They're woke in the good way. I remember when woke meant something different. I remember when woke was like you knew about 9/11. I remember when that was woke. Now it's different. So sometimes I want to use it the old way to mean that somebody knows what's up, like they're woke. They know what's up. This show, right? That's why you watch this show, because I'm woke, but not that way. It's too bad about words. It's too bad about words that they change meaning when they were perfectly useful to describe a type of person who knew what was going on before. That's what it was supposed to mean. Now it describes somebody who has no freaking clue what's going on and wants to tell everybody about it. Now that's woke. Yeah, you can't do anything about language. I mean, it's hard to do anything as one person to change the language or make the language the way you want it to be, because they, the elite, will just suddenly change the meaning of things on you. Okay, do you guys care about the do you guys care about the documents? The documents that Joe Biden has? That's what everybody's been talking about. All right, it's been like the big news story that Joe Biden has documents. And before that Donald Trump had documents. And so then they're saying it's a big deal. And maybe Joe Biden isn't going to run. Joe Rogan had a conspiracy theory and it got reported on in the news. Joe Rogan just offhandedly said that they're trying to set Joe Biden up because they don't want him to run for president. So Joe Rogan put forth that theory on his radio show, and it got picked up in the news. Said that, well, why does AIDS turn in the documents in the first place? Like, what would you do if you found the documents and you were a Biden aide? This is the argument. Oh, you're a Biden aide and you find some documents. What do you do? Well, a lot of people would say, hide the freaking documents, pretend you never found anything, right? That's what a lot of people would do, especially if you're thinking politically. You think, oh, this could get my boss in trouble. Maybe we should bury this, burn the documents, pretend they were never here, and move on with our lives and say, oh, we won't do that again. But instead, what did they do? They reported them. Joe Biden's aides reported them. So the theory goes that they only did that because they're ready to kick Joe Biden to the curb. But I don't know. I mean, to be honest, if I were a Democrat and I was looking around for who the most likely person is to win in 2024, it might still be Joe Biden. I mean, out of all the other choices, he has, obviously, at this point, the name recognition, he's been president. His approval ratings aren't that bad right now. I mean, they're bad, but they're not that bad. And who else do Democrats have? Honestly, really? I mean, people like Stacey Abrams and stuff. I mean, losers like Stacey Abrams and Beto. I mean, and Gavin Newsom. Really? I don't know. I don't know if Gavin Newsom is as good a contender as Joe Biden. No matter how flawed Joe Biden is, somehow he stumbles through things. You know what I mean? Like every time you watch him, you expect him to really, really break down and just lose it. But somehow he stumbles through. Like it's just good enough. Joe Biden, the way he does things, it's like just enough that people can't just say, oh, he's done, it's over. But people are asking about documents. They say they found the documents. Then they say they found the documents in the garage near the Corvette. The story, though, the real story is the rent Hunter Biden was paying. So as far as the documents go, I really don't care as a person, right, it doesn't affect me at all to think that Donald Trump or Joe Biden had secret documents. Or that somebody could have come across these secret documents because they were careless with them, or some Chinese spies might have seen our secret documents. Like, I don't care. So my opinion might be that the documents shouldn't have been classified in the first place, because the government classifies all kinds of crap that people should know about. So it could be they had documents that were worth knowing about, and that there was no reason for them to be classified in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. So if I were Joe Biden and Donald Trump and this was possible, I would just make a deal and change the narrative and just be like, nobody cares about secret documents. Let's move on. And then they can both run for president or whatever they're trying to do. Because now people are worried that Joe Biden won't be able to run. They say this is when he would be announcing. I guess we're about to get started. Trump was early with his presidential announcement. Yay, we learned on this show that Kanye West, formerly Kanye West, is not officially running for president, even though he said he was. Baked Alaska, who's represents in some way the Yay 24 campaign, or, is shilling for the Yay 24 campaign. It says it's not even officially a campaign. He said that on the show. He said Yay hasn't confirmed yet that he's running. So the only candidate we know of for sure officially is Donald Trump. And it might end up being Joe Biden. Here's just Joe Biden. This clip is Joe Biden getting yelled at and just smiling, because everybody wants to know about the documents. But like I said, I don't care. I could care less about the documents. But it's funny when there are scandals, and it shows hypocrisy, because he said Trump didn't handle his documents, and then meanwhile, womp womp, Joe Biden has documents, etc. So it's a perfect scenario of like comparing one to the other. And then of course you got to go after them both, even though nobody cares, because you got to protect the secret documents. We must protect our secrets. I think it's funny. But you can tell what he's thinking. He's like, aha, these stupid people yelling questions at me. Aha, it's just a game. I can just sit here and smile, and nobody can do anything about it. And I don't have to answer their questions. And aren't they dumb, those people yelling at me? So that was him. That's Joe Biden. Yeah, people sharing that clip. Joe Biden faces questions about handling of classified docs. He faced the questions, but he just smiled. I don't know if it's going to turn into a thing. I mean, they're talking about it in all the news shows and everything. But the big story is about Hunter Biden maybe paying $50,000 a month to $50,000 a month to Joe Biden, rent his house. So that's based on this thing. Okay. So people are saying this isn't confirmed. In other words, nobody's saying for sure that he was actually doing this. They don't have proof for sure. but he said on a background screening request, Hunter Biden said on a background screening request that his previous address was Joe Biden's house, was one of the addresses where documents were found, basically. Okay. So Hunter Biden was living at one of Joe Biden's houses, and he claimed on this document that he was paying $49,910 per month in rent, which is a lot. And, previously, we have Hunter Biden text messages where he said that he had to give half of his money to dad. You have the emails that say 10% to the big guy. So you have lots of speculation, reasoned speculation, that Hunter Biden was giving kickbacks to his dad for the jobs that he got as a result of his dad's political positions, which he got a number of jobs because of that, with the Chinese, with the Ukrainians. So was this a way for him to kick back to the big guy for his illicit, the money he was making kind of illicitly because of being the vice president's son? So that's what we want to know. That's what people are speculating about. And that would be the big story. So on Joe Biden's tax returns, those years, these sleuths have also found that Joe Biden didn't claim that much rental income. In fact, he only claimed $20,000 total in 2017. He didn't claim any rental income in 2018. So those are the times that Hunter Biden would have been living there and paying $49,910 per month in rent, which is a lot. Apparently, they say, other people have done research, they say equivalent rent would be about $7,600. So people have even looked into what the equivalent rent would be now for the house in question. It would be a lot less than $50,000. $50,000 is a lot. You can get a place in Malibu, maybe. $50,000 might be even more than that in Malibu. But so that would be a real scandal, though. That would be a real, actual scandalous story. Oh, by the way, I haven't plugged this yet. Damn. Let me plug my link. If you want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, and you can give me a coffee and you can leave a message and I'll read it on the show. And you can leave it anytime, even after the show's over, by the way. But if you leave it during the show, I'll read it on the show. And then if you leave it after the show, I'll read it on the next show. So no matter what. So you can plug your business or whatever. Buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. And also we have t-shirts at truthclothing.io. There's a link for that in the description. So that's the news about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. They're going to get him. I don't know what the seriousness is of the documents and stuff. I don't know if we will know. So I showed you video yesterday of a person getting killed by hospital staff for not wearing her mask fully. That's because there were going to be charges in that case. So let me just give you guys an update on that. It's a case in Canada where somebody was killed by hospital staff, and apparently they're not going to press charges. So that's why the video finally came out. It's old video that I showed. and the video pans the other way when the event happens. So it was a cover up at the same time. And there is going to be there is not going to be a trial. So no jury is going to see any trial. And that person just got killed, I guess, for not wearing her mask on her face. And everybody's going to get away with it. So people get away with things. All right. So let me see what else I have for you guys today. That might be all the news, because I have some stuff about the vaccine. Just wanted to show you some things that are being sold on the internet. This is just, I don't know. It is funny, the things that happen on the internet and the kinds of things that some people say and the kinds of things some people are into. So this is something I became aware of today, which is on Goyam TV. And they sell soap that will wash the Jew away. The swastika soap, actually. So yeah, I became aware of this today. Swastika soap that will wash the Jew away. And it has that printed on the soap with a caricature of a Jewish person, I think, rubbing their hands together. That's at goyamtv.shop. It's amazing to me. People are, it shows you, I like to know about things like this because it shows you that there is such thing as free speech and free enterprise. You are allowed to participate in society. You are allowed to do commerce, apparently, on the internet, even if you're extremely offensive. So this is a truly American enterprise here, because you wouldn't be able to do that probably in Germany or in some other countries. You wouldn't be allowed to sell swastika soap. I mean, the swastika is basically banned in Germany. But that is happening. That's over at Goyam TV. So in a different life, that's where you'd see me, in a different life. But it would be a different life because I'm not like that. I can't talk about that stuff all the time. I'm saying a totally different one. The one I'm not living right now. But it is, I mean, I can see the humor in it for people who think like that. All right. Yeah, I have some stuff about the shots, but I'm not going to give you anything about the shots today. There's some stuff about, reparations. Give me a break. You know, California didn't even have slavery, and they're talking about giving Black people reparations here. So San Francisco is thinking about giving Black people $5 million each. $5 million each, even though they're projecting a budget shortfall of hundreds of millions of dollars. They decided to pitch this $5 million per person for the decades of harm they've experienced. I think they have to prove, though, that you can't just move to San Francisco and get $5 million if you're Black. You have to prove that you've lived there for a long time. But we didn't even have slavery in California. It says they must also prove that they meet 2 out of 8 additional standards, 2 out of 8 standards, including being born in or having migrated to San Francisco between 1940 and 1996, having proof of residency for at least 13 years, being personally or a direct descendant of someone jailed in the war on drugs, or being a descendant of someone enslaved before 1865. So let me see if this is a good clip. This is them talking about it.
Rugged, individualistic, greedy, capitalistic world that has caused so many of us to be down at the bottom and only just a handful up at the top. Next thing I want to say, as an old rugged history buff, I think that we should be careful not to toot our horn, but to tell the truth. The establishment has done far too much to misrepresent our history. Instead of it being history, it was, as somebody said, his story or her story, and not our story. And our story about this task force from day one is that the oldest, the largest, the most feared, the most revered civil rights organization in the world, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, is the body that first broached the idea of reparations here in the city and county of San Francisco in an official way.
Okay, so I guess that was that. Nothing that powerful. Yeah, 5 million, huh? I mean, can you imagine what would inflation be like? I would just want to make friends. The first thing you got to think of, like, as soon as something like that happens, you have to think about ways to advantage yourself up with it. So hopefully you're black, or like hopefully you fall into one of the categories or enough of the categories that you get the reparations. And then you got to think quickly about what to do with all that money. And then if you're trying to think of how to take advantage of it, you're like, oh, I better make some friends, because they're going to have extra money and not know what to do with it. So you want to make friends then with people who fit those categories. So those people are going to find themselves with a lot of new friends. Anybody who gets a lot of money finds themselves with new friends. That's true. I teach that in my academy. If you get a lot of money, you will also get a lot of new friends. The new friends want you to spend money on them. They actually aren't your friends. They actually just want the money. But that's how people think about people. Like the people that hang around with Kanye West, the people that hang around Ye right now. They don't worry about the reputational damage because they're just thinking about the cheese that's possible. So yeah, if you hang out with Kanye West, Ye, he's got a lot of cheese. So you're hoping that some of the cheese comes your way. All right, let me check the coffees. We'll see if anybody donated to the show today. This is what keeps the show going, is coffees. And I do actually get coffee sometimes with it. So let me see if anybody kicked in today. It is vastly important to donate to the stream. You can give super chats too, but I don't encourage it because of the 30%. Let me see if anybody did today. And then I'll take phone calls to extend the show. Jim from Baltimore got 3 coffees and said, can you take a call? And so I will. Thanks, Jim from Baltimore. That's one thing you can bribe me for. Hobo Tommy bought 10 coffees and says I'm supposed to ban somebody. And it's like really rude about that person. Hobo Tommy, thank you for your donation. I don't know if I can ban that person because I'm not sure what that person has done to me lately, but I'll think about it. I'll look into it. Okay. But you did say some things about her. Thanks, Laura, who got a coffee. Who says NAMBLA bought Epstein Island. Really? Really? NAMBLA did? That they're a PETA organization. That's interesting. Howard Stern used to have on a guy from NAMBLA for his show as a bit just to talk about. He used to do that, right? And then he would have on, he had people from hate groups and stuff, and the God Hates F Words group. He would have those people on and then kind of make fun of them. But yeah, he used to have on the person from NAMBLA. I remember that. Thanks, Hobo Tommy. Hobo Tommy, I'll think about what you said, but I haven't noticed. I want everybody to get along. That's what I'd like, if possible. I mean, there's no reason for people to fight. You can call into the show if you want to. I know Jim from Baltimore wants to call in. 650-429-8294. The phone is open now. because I got paid to open the phone. And in the meantime, you can still drop coffees. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. Uh-oh. This could be, let's see. Hey, you're on the air.
Nathan, what's up? It's Hobo Tommy.
Hey, Hobo Tommy. Keep it clean.
All right. Let me explain my message there. Okay, so I want to start a new game with you. So
Okay.
Uncensored Mom, she's a caller. She calls in. All
She's
she
called
does is
censored,
mom,
censored mom. Isn't she censored?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who can understand her? She mumbles. I can't understand her.
Okay. All right.
Every time I'm paying you $50, every time she calls, you have to hang up on her.
Oh, no, that's not that. I can't take money to do that. She's been nice, I feel like, on my show.
Man.
What did she say wrong on the show? What did she say bad?
She called me an anti-Semite. You believe
Oh,
that?
she did?
Me?
Well,
Yeah. She
well,
insinuated that I was an anti-Semite. I'm the best friend of the Jew.
I see. It was because when you called into the show, she said she was tired of hearing people bash on Jays. I remember that now. And she thought you were bashing on Jays because you were encouraging me to call out the people, right? So that's what ended up happening. But maybe it was just a misunderstanding.
Look, and this is the deal. If she wants to get uncensored, she has to pay $51.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
How much do I need to pay you to get you to hang up on her every time she calls? You have a price.
I don't think so. It just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right to me to take money for something like that because she's nice. But what if she never calls in again?
Well, hey, that's my risk. You don't have to worry about that.
Right. Well, I don't know. It seems like I can't accept that offer. So, but we'll see if she misbehaves. Like, I understand what she said, and she said you were an anti-Semite, but let's see if you guys can get along and she can say you're not an anti-Semite. And then you guys can get along and you can both buy coffees.
I'll give you $400 to hang up on her every time she calls.
No, don't do
90
that.
days.
No, I can't be bought like that. That's crazy.
$500. $500.
Wow.
6 month phone call ban.
No, it's not. I can't do that. Some people like censored mom, and you're asking to silence somebody just like by being more powerful than they are. Like you're more powerful because you have resources. You're using your power to silence someone else because you disagree with them. Don't you think that's wrong?
Right.
You think that's okay? What if somebody else what if somebody called in and said they wanted to ban you and they could pay me?
Right or wrong? But hey, we can play this. This is the game I'm trying to start. I want to pay the fattest checkbook contest. I'll ban everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
I'll pay you thousands of dollars just to let me call in and nobody else call in. You know what I'm saying?
Really? Well, I'll think about that. If it's just that you are funding the show and you just want to call in and be on the show, so it's like a vanity project, then I'll think about it.
Absolutely.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, hey, you're a man of principle.
Thank you.
I respect you for that.
Thanks, Hobo Tommy. I appreciate you. I know you'll still give me coffees.
And I enjoy the show. And please let Jim from Baltimore know that Baltimore sucks.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Hobo Tommy. Wow, I was getting uncomfortable because I was sticking with my principles, but then he was offering me money, but I was still sticking with my principles and I was still doing the math. I was like, $500 for 6 months. That's not that much. That's less than $100 a month. And I do 20 shows a month, at least. I do 20 shows a month. So that would be a good deal for him. So it would have to be a lot more money, is the truth. Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, Jim, what's going on, man?
So, Hobo Tommy thinks I suck.
What?
And
No.
millions of dollars.
He says
You
that
just said I suck.
He said Baltimore sucks. He says
You said
Baltimore
Jim from
sucks.
Baltimore sucks.
No,
man.
no, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. You can ask the chat. He just said Baltimore sucks. He didn't say Jim from Baltimore sucks.
Does suck. I
Okay.
got to agree with him there.
All right, then you guys agree.
If that's in fact what he said, I just kind of maybe I misheard.
No, I think you might have misheard because I heard him, I thought, pretty well. He just said, tell Jim from Baltimore that Baltimore sucks.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, man. I misunderstood Hobo Tommy. I'm sorry, dude.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and anyway, yeah, man. So it's becoming a rally of real time going on in our culture and everything going on right now. Wouldn't you say?
What do you mean?
Just everything's going in a tailspin.
Yes. Well, yeah, but more than usual, you mean?
Yeah. 2023 is the it's the mark of the forward of something.
Yeah, it could be. It could be that you never know. It's always, I think people are always inclined to think that things are crazier right now than they've ever been.
Yeah, I mean, like 2020 onward, it's been just nothing but crazy and getting crazier. I can't imagine it's not going to slow down. And like all the inflation and all the shit that like the food that's just going up haywire, like eggs,
Yes.
like what, $39 for a dozen of eggs somewhere? I don't know. I mean,
I've seen some numbers. I haven't seen any that high. I've seen like $15 though. I haven't seen it myself, but I've seen pictures. It seems expensive.
I mean, like I've seen some high prices. I never really studied it, but I'm sure you have. But you might have. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. And you're still living in Cali, right?
I am still living in California, where it's been wetter than usual.
Yeah, and you lost your power that one time you
Yes.
had your show that
Yes.
one night.
Yep. So we've gone through it, but haven't gotten flooded out or anything yet, though.
Man, I swear to God, like I'll say it again. I was freaked out because I saw your face and I couldn't hear your voice, and
Scary.
it looked like you were moving around.
Yeah.
And it was really dark.
Yeah.
And all I saw was the glow of your light on
Yeah.
your phone.
It's like a ghost. It was like a ghost story. It was like I was in the middle of a ghost story.
Freaky.
Yeah. It's cool.
Oh man.
It was really dark though. I mean, it was dark. It shows you. I'm not really even prepared for an emergency. We didn't even have lights.
I thought, well, shit, maybe you got flooded or something. I didn't hear the next day from like your Twitter didn't have anything on there either. The next day.
Yeah, it was like something happened. Yeah, I got to make sure to check in more. But I made it through it okay.
I was like thinking, shit, what happened to Nate?
Yeah.
And oh man.
Yeah, but nothing happened. So.
Yeah, man. Well, it takes more calls, man.
Okay.
Like, I know more people want to call in. I know they do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, people tune in to the show. They love the show. They want to call in. Yeah, right.
And they need to call in because they need to speak up and say something.
Yes, exactly. Okay, great.
All right, man.
Thanks,
Take it
Jim.
easy.
All right, see ya. Yeah, you just say things and then things happen. You just say, oh, people want to call. They need to call. And they're going to call in and they're going to be interesting. You just say positive things like that, like it happens. That's what they say. The secret. You know, one of the guys that worked with Andrew Tate was like a world famous hypnotist, apparently. He had a whole team of people working with him. I don't have a team, but I do need people. I do need to get somebody to make TikTok content for me or something. I need somebody who can make stuff like the short videos for the kids. See if we can appeal to the younger generation. I don't really think we do, though. I look at my numbers. That guy, Mr. Beast, he says his average audience member is like 15 years old and plays video games. But mine is not that. I don't think I have anyone under 20 that listens to the show. Hey, you're on the air.
Yes, hello. It is my second time calling in.
Hey, what's up?
My name's Christine.
Hey, Christine.
Yeah, I listen to your show all the time, as I said. And recently with the news, what do you think about the what is it, the declassified stuff on the the blue whatever? Going on there.
Which thing?
Blue Project or whatever it is.
Not Project Blue. You're not talking about Project Blue.
Yeah, Project Blue Project. Yeah.
Bluebeam? Project Bluebeam
Yeah,
you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know of anything recently declassified about that, but Project Bluebeam is just proposes a fake alien invasion, right?
Right.
Yeah. Fake alien
Your thoughts on
invasion.
that
What are
coming
my
up
thoughts
here
of the fake alien
2023?
invasion?
Yeah.
Well, it is, I mean, I do have thoughts about how the government has released information about UFOs to the public that it is something to be suspicious of, because it wasn't like the information leaked out of the government about UFOs. It was intentionally put out so that the public could see it through official channels, basically. So that's suspicious. And would they ever do the fake alien invasion? They say that would unite humanity if they did that. So you never know.
Now, here's my thoughts. Now, what if they just proposed all that and just let's desensitize all that, and now they're going to come upon with the quote unquote maybe fake zombie invasion.
Zombies would be cool.
Amazon, Amazon already has that in their, what is it? Their, you have to look at their, whatever you're talking about there. Agreements there that you have to do. And I don't know if you've read into that, where it talks about the whole biting of flesh, and we might turn into zombies, and we're gonna, Amazon can nix out of an agreement because of that. And
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about what you're talking about. What are you talking about regarding the Amazon?
Oh my God! So the Amazon, if you read into the terms and conditions
Amazon, you're talking about Amazon, the service where you buy things. Okay.
Yeah, and
right.
if you read into that,
and
I don't know what page or whatever, but there is this whole zombie apocalypse, the mix or whatever. Hey, if the zombie apocalypse happens, we're not, held liable or whatever.
Oh, really?
It does biting us. Yes.
Okay.
Is that in there because as a joke, or is it in there because that's the next thing? Forget about aliens. I'm just saying. Forget about all that crap. They've already desensitized that. Now they've been, how many years they've been Walking Dead and all the zombie apocalypse. Maybe that's the next new thing. Aliens, really we wouldn't be that scared of that. But if it's the zombie apocalypse that's about to happen, fake. I'm just saying, fake. Maybe they could fakely do that. But that's something scary, right?
Yeah, that would be zombies. Zombies are scary. Zombies. I learn about the apocalypse I try to consume content about the apocalypse so that I'm prepared. And one of the apocalypses is the zombie apocalypse. So I watched a lot of The Walking Dead just to see what happens at the end of the world when it's a bunch of zombies. But the zombies are slow. And also it's really, their skulls and stuff are really soft because they've been dead or something. So they're easy to stab in the head.
All the things.
Oh, okay. But in Walking Dead,
they're super crazy, super fast, super human.
Yeah. The zombies in Walking Dead are slow.
Wake right up, launch at you. Most of the movies, Walking Dead, are slow.
Yeah.
But most of you look into the zombie apocalypse shit. These things are freaking launching at you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's scary.
Oh, yeah. This is okay, so HBO just came out, I don't know, the other day with that, the video game, what is it called there? Damn, whatever that One for Us or whatever, Get Out. I don't know, whatever that big popular video game. I don't know. I just watched the first episode, HBO, and these zombies are launching at you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Zombie Nation or whatever the hell. You're
you got to go. You got to get their brain, right? You always have to shoot them in the brain. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm going back to the Amazon stuff, right? So
right.
The Amazon stock has fallen, yada, yada, yada. like, really, why would they put that in their terms and conditions, basically? Like, terms and conditions is basically, if you look into it, it's like, hey, if the world resolves to, we're going to, like, turn into a zombie apocalypse, eating flesh, we're not held liable for whatever, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
Isn't that weird?
Well, it is weird. Yeah, maybe they're just preparing for any eventuality, and they think that
Or
this
it's a joke.
maybe it's a joke too. But they also don't want to be held liable if there's a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
So
My product didn't come because of the zombie apocalypse. Hey, I didn't get my freaking 2-day, my 2-day air or whatever.
Right. Because people would sue, right? They'd be like, "Oh, I didn't get my."
I guess so. It's just strange. But anyway, I love your show.
All right.
I'll let someone else call in. But
all right.
Thank you for taking my call.
Cool. Thanks, man.
All right. Love you.
See ya. Yeah, once everything is delivered by drones, then we don't even have to worry about they'll still be able to deliver during the zombie apocalypse. You can still support the show, and I can read it on the stream. If you go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil, you can leave coffees. And yeah, we got bribed. You saw an attempted bribe already on this show, which did make us all uncomfortable. I still haven't sent out my first piece of information through buymeacoffee.com, but I can send out emails that way. And then I have somebody trying to convince me to switch over to another service. There's the phone number, 650-429-8294. Zombie apocalypse. Yeah, I'm ready for it. I mean, I've been watching. That's why I realize electric cars are going to be no good in the apocalypse for sure, unless you have solar panels, and then maybe they're okay. If you have solar panels, then it might be the best thing, actually. So that's kind of messed up. But I learned you drive cars for a while and you're looking for gas a lot during the apocalypse. Gas, you really need gas. You need water, and then you need something sharp to stab the zombies with. And but eventually you run out of gas, and then it's horses after that. So the first few seasons of Walking Dead, you're driving still, and I don't know where they're getting the gas from. But then after that, eventually they move to horses because they run out, because nobody's refining the gas. But I guess if you had an electric car and you could create your own electricity with solar panels, that would actually be the most beneficial thing in the apocalypse. So some green technology is good. It's good to be off the grid, I think. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's cool to be off the grid. It's cool that you can still get internet off the grid. I mean, maybe one day I will leave this civilization and go off the grid, because you can. I would just do it with solar panels and collect water and have chickens. I'd still have to go to the store, though, I think, to buy stuff. You still have to trade. You still have to engage in commerce. Silver will be, a lot of times they don't trade in money. They don't use silver and gold in the apocalypse, but I'm thinking they will. And for money, people will use Bitcoin and stuff too for the apocalypse, as long as the internet still works. But they'll try to keep the internet working. Most likely that'll be the last thing, because we kind of need it, right? Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, Nathan?
Good, thanks.
It's Jedi.
Hey, Jedi, what's up?
Not much. I wanted to call and let you know shouldn't take part that bullcrap that you had to take from Goofball.
Who are you?
In Hoax's stream the other night.
Oh, you're talking about Jim Bob? Where's Jim Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He just triggered me by saying something, and then I kind of lost my temper, but no big deal. I'm still friends with Jim Bob.
It's kind of funny because I was watching his stream today, and he thought that you were like trolling in the chat. And he's really enamored by you, honestly.
Really? He likes
bringing
me?
You up.
Oh, good.
Well, I don't know if he likes you, but he does like to like poke fun at you. He keeps calling you like lift the skirt.
Yeah,
and
cool.
this kind of stuff. It's
yeah, that's
fucking
cool.
fucked up.
That's cool.
But
No, I like it. I like that I'm on his mind. I mean, it's good. It shows that people are interested, that he keeps, if he's still saying something, that's cool. Jim Bob's okay though. I mean, he draws memes and that's cool. He's got meme books that are valuable. I appreciate Jim Bob. Nothing wrong with that guy.
it's one thing that is funny about him is today he was brought up about how like basically the antithesis of like liberalism and all is female stand-up comics.
Female stand-up comics. What yeah, what's his riff? What is, you can do good material about them. So what's his riff about that?
Well, I think honestly it's kind of a sore point for him because I've been doing like just a little background research into him, and I noticed that her name was Jennifer Hall. And
whose name? Sorry, whose name is?
Her name is Jennifer Hall.
Who's her? Who's her again?
She is Jim Bob's ex-wife.
I see. Okay, got it.
And like she's actually pretty more famous than him.
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah, like she's been on Nip Tuck.
Oh really?
On Unscripted. Like she's done a couple things, but she's also done like stand-up comedy.
Oh really? So what was his?
I think that's kind of where Jim Bob had this intersection meeting of the minds with, maybe Owen Benjamin, you know what I mean? Since they were from LA.
I see.
You know,
they were all, so his wife was doing stand-up comedy, or his ex was doing stand-up comedy. And then Owen Benjamin was doing stand-up comedy and stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because, oh my God, it's just like all around this time of like 2012, all the way up to about 2017. And then that's when Jim Bob and Jennifer got a divorce.
Interesting. Well, I didn't know all this stuff about Jim Bob. He had a divorce before once. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And like I said, he actually has a YouTube page under his real name. I'm not going to do that in the fun of the sport, but like I found a YouTube page where he's got his real name, and it's just like really sus. It's totally like, it'd be like your regular California lib like art performer, you know what I mean? He was just it's totally different than the persona that he puts on now.
Interesting. Basically. Well, I'm not getting involved too much anyway. I wasn't trying to start beef or anything. I'm not into that stuff.
Oh no, it's not.
So,
I'm just trying to put it out there. It's just kind of some interesting. And,
yeah, that's interesting. Well, if I thought people were interested, I might talk about it. But I mean, nobody even knows. Like nobody who watches this show even knows who he is or anything. So, they might know his memes from because people do know his memes and stuff. But otherwise, I don't think people. So, cool, man. Well, thanks for standing up for me. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go.
All right, cool. Thanks, Jedi. See ya. Yeah, I was on another show and I got in like a beef. I got angry. I started going off on at something. Even though you wouldn't think that was possible. I got upset for a second. But yeah, sometimes people are funny. But yeah, there's this guy made by Jim Bob. He makes memes. And he has a show on YouTube. And we had a little back and forth. Hey, you're on the air.
Hi, Mom, in advance.
What was that? Oops. What was that? Hey. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Nate?
Hey, nothing.
This is the Coot Club. I called you a couple of weeks back ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe you actually got angry. I was listening in, and I've been watching your show for a long time, and I've never seen you lose your cool.
Oh, yeah, I did. So yeah, but you weren't tuned in for when this thing happened, right? So you didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did. I lost it.
No.
Yeah, I lost it.
Well, that's crazy, man. Well,
Yeah, it was
every
crazy.
man's got their line in the sand.
That's right. Sometimes it happens. It's okay.
It's funny that you guys mentioned like The Walking Dead and zombie apocalypse because I like do the whole preparedness thing, and
Yeah.
I just started rewatching The Walking Dead, and man, seasons 1 through 8 really show you. I think it really is the best televised depiction we got when it comes to society breaking down and how humans would react.
Yeah, right.
Because it's not really about the zombies. It's people.
Right. In the end, they're like competing with other humans, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
at
then
the end of the day, it's always about what somebody else has. You know what I mean?
Right. Do you think
But
so you're a prepper?
go ahead. Sorry.
So you're a prepper. Do you believe that precious metals or anything will have any value in the apocalypse, or do you think the only thing people will care about is like food and water?
I wouldn't call myself a prepper. I think there's a difference between being a prepper and being prepared. I think anybody could hoard up food. Anybody can go to the can or the grocery store and get some water. There's somebody that's pragmatic and strategic with planning ahead. Somebody that invest in themselves and getting their family on board. It's not just about buying yourself body armor and a plate carrier and a gun. You might be trained all you want, but your wife might not be, your children might not be. As far as what would be valuable, I definitely don't think materialistic things like, I wouldn't call silver materialistic. It just depends. I think when society collapses within the first couple of years, nobody's going to give a shit about currency. It's going to be food, water, shelter, medicine.
And there won't be any currency. You don't think people will use anything for money?
Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe ammo, food, medicine, definitely medicine. Because if we're thinking the first 5 years, let's say, we get a EMP, nuclear war, whatever your poison is, old people are going to die off real fast without this system keeping them afloat. Some people, they have to have electricity in order to live. Their kidney dialysis, oxygen tanks. I think medicine's going to be one of the biggest financial currencies somebody can have. And then food and ammo. But, I try not to focus so much on guns. I mean, I'm embedded in the gun community and the culture, but it's such a small little thing when it comes to overall being prepared.
Right. It's not just about guns. In other words,
I mean, guns are cool. I make cool videos about like new guns and plate carriers and tactical gear because I'm a nerd about it. But that's not really my strong point, I guess.
Right. I got it. Well, that's cool.
Nevertheless, I just wanted to call and chit chat with you.
Cool, man. Well, good talking to you. Glad you listened to the show.
Yeah, for sure. I'll call back again one day.
All right. Cool, man. Good talking to you.
Thanks.
See ya.
Later.
All right. So there's a call from somebody who is prepared but doesn't call themselves a prepper. It's good everybody's here. Sorry I don't have all the names on the Epstein client list. I know that's in the title. You can still support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. The link is in the top of the chat, and you can drop a coffee there and leave a note. And then Google doesn't take 30%. If you ever wanted to support a show, this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, we're going to figure out how to make it work. Maybe I'll make some more. I might have to make videos. Short videos. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that can go viral, because these shows don't go viral. It's hard. It doesn't happen, right? So I need some help. I need to give myself some help. I might need to make content. And then I need people like making content. I need a team like Mr. Beast has. Yeah, that stuff's a totally different level. But I'm on YouTube and on Rumble. The shows do show on Rumble. It's just it doesn't get promoted by the algorithm. But I'm on Rumble. I'm on D Live. If a show goes down like last night, the show went down. And if you haven't heard the podcast in a while, I'll try to upload all the podcasts. Just haven't just been doing things a little differently. But if a show goes down again, you want to see the whole thing. I got banned. Yesterday's show got deleted. I'll shut the phones down. We got enough calls. Yesterday's show got deleted because of the Miss USA clip, out of all things. It was like a 30-second clip of Miss USA during the Miss Universe pageant. And they said that that was copyright blocked. So that's why the whole show went down yesterday. But I don't have issues like that on Rockfin, where the shows always will exist. ROKFIN.com/lifttheveil. So that full show from yesterday with the missing clip is on there, along with the pre-show and after show. Because there actually is moments of me talking before the show goes live on YouTube. Believe it or not, that's all on Rockfin. So thanks for the tips on Rockfin. Thanks, Vogan Filter, who says, for being an everyday regular American. Thank you for that. Thanks, Todd Fife, for the tip on Rockfin. And thanks, RC Striker, for the tip on Rockfin. I appreciate it. And thanks, everybody who left me coffees. And we'll see you at the next one. We're doing the show pretty regularly, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, weekdays. So far, I've stuck to it this week. So sometimes it's at 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. But I try to do it at 5. I try to be regular. And, we just try to do something that you guys will like. So we'll keep at it. All right. So we'll see you at the next one. Right? For now, that's what it is.